I just want to do this the old-fashioned way.
I don't ever remember us doing it like that.
I just want to do it this way.
Okay. I mean, I can add this. It's gonna. Okay.
It's all right.
It's fine.
What's up, Brajas and Brajettes? You're listening to the Matt Bolus podcast coming straight from motherfucking hell. Yo, this is Matt Bolus, and as always,
Dusty Ray, straight from the darkness and into your hearts. This is the Matt Bolus podcast.
Straight from hell.
On a very special Halloween edition.
We're coming straight from the bowels of hell, where Satan himself has been poking us in the asses with his pitchfork. Oh! Damn, thanks, Satan.
I find it quite enjoyable. I try to wiggle right where it... Never mind. I digress.
Yeah. Well, this is hell. Anything goes, so...
I didn't think there would be so much judgment down here. If I happen to enjoy the hot prod to the asshole...
Did you see the babies on fire?
I did. It was graphic.
That shit was nuts, dude. There was like a whole waterfall of nothing but babies on fire, just flowing down into this huge... big old infested demon. It was nuts.
Oh, somebody's gonna eat us.
Yeah. Man, this is some crazy shit. Honestly, I want to be honest. This policy here on the Matt Bulls podcast. I'm being very honest. I am shitting my fucking pants right now. Yeah, I am shitting my pants.
I can smell it, Matt.
Yeah. If that's what you're worried about, because I can smell over there, I can see those old people that they have, and they're burning them alive. I can smell that, so I'm sure my shit is not as bad.
I'm trying to figure out why that old couple even came to hell. Why are they in hell?
Did you see the rotating, death-spinning dildo gay pride parade they were holding down here?
I did. Evidently it is. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it is a sin to be a homosexual. We found that out in hell. This is the Matt Bolus podcast from hell.
Straight from the darkness and into your hearts. This is the Halloween edition of the Matt Bolus podcast. On this edition, we are going to help to explore the deepest darkness inside of our souls. Buckle up. This is the incredibly fun and lighthearted Matt Bolus podcast.
This is the Matt Bolus podcast from hell. Because I believe that I'm actually going to, I'm going to, instead of doing the robot at the beginning, I'm going to intro with that into the music, into the robot, into the intro, which will probably be this right now.
I wanted to get pretty graphic.
It was great. It was great. On a very special Halloween edition of the Matt Bolus podcast, we are going to tell you what's bumming us out. Yeah. Also, we are going to hashtag your ass.
Don't expect this to be fun and enlightening because it was never supposed to be. So now I guess for the next 10 episodes, we're going to go back to being the way we were the first 10 episodes. Highly depressed. I actually wasn't highly depressed on the first 10 episodes, but I'm trying it now. Here on the Matt Bolus podcast, all hope is gone. Everything is lost. We don't have our Luke Skywalker anymore. He fucking died.
Let me put it to you this way. One day you are going to die, and that's not even the worst part. Your family's going to put you in the ground, and then years are going to pass, and years and generations are going to pass, and then one day the sun is going to burn out. And then our planet eventually is going to blow to shreds, and your body, your dead body, is not even going to be intact. It's going to be floating through space.
You know, I don't know who's going to bury or cremate my body.
Probably me.
Maybe. It could be.
Well, if you go before me,
I really don't know, though. I don't.
We're not going to bury you. We're going to put you on the raft, and we're going to push you out into the Tennessee River, and we're going to set it on fire with a flaming arrow, like you wrote in your will.
I want my bass guitar.
You do want, he wants his bass guitar and every episode of the Matt Bolus podcast on vinyl, which we do not have yet, but you can order your Matt Bolus podcast on vinyl, episode 1 through 15. It's coming out, Christmas 2015.
Yeah, we got a vinyl. Why do we have a vinyl?
Because it sounds so good.
Yeah, you can listen to it the way your forefathers listened to it, kids.
If you want to listen to this the way your forefathers listened to podcasts, by the Matt Bolus podcast, episode 1 through 15.
You know, when I'm hanging out with a younger crowd, I feel like Philip Seymour Hoffman. I do. I have like this overbearing feeling of just Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Elaborate, sir. What do you...
Well, I think it's more like a disease or something, like,
Philip Seymour Hoffman disease.
PSD. The thing is, I'm not like Philip Seymour Hoffman because I don't have any fucking degrees.
And you're also not dead. Although we may be in hell here on the Matt Bolus podcast.
Can you believe that they have a whole pool dedicated to the sock law?
No, I find that hard to believe.
You know what's crazy? Because, all those fuckers. God damn, oh my God.
That is the biggest devil dick I've ever seen.
I know,
and I
dude,
have seen quite
I
used to be an alcoholic, and I've seen quite a few devil dicks. Slang that dick.
Dude. Oh my God. Did you see this fucking shit?
I am terrified and insanely aroused here on
Dude,
the Matt
he just
Bolus
stuck
podcast.
that in Whitney Houston's WhatsApp. How do you fucking do that?
On a very special Halloween edition of the Matt Bolus podcast, we are going to do what the fuck we want to.
We are in hell currently. We are in hell.
Something with the translucent being that I encountered on Frontage Road about 4 months ago really stuck with me, Matt. I was in the shower the other day, and I know what you were thinking. Firstly, that is hard to believe because of my tremendous odor. Secondly, how do I afford running water? I work on a podcast. But I was in the shower the other day, and I heard Dusty. And I think it's the ghostly apparition from Frontage Road.
Hey, man.
Hi, dude.
Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing right now?
I was looking on Twitter for Beeper Sherman,
Okay.
but I'm not finding anything.
I was in a local thrift store in Hickson the other day. One of the thrift stores out there, and I ran into a girl I haven't seen in a long time.
Or would you say girl or woman?
Well, let's rephrase this.
Go ahead. And now, on the Matt Bolus podcast, rephrasing.
Yo, what's up? This is Matt Bolus from the Matt Bolus podcast. I'm sitting here with Dusty Ray. I need to tell y'all about a little scenario that went down with me wearing my robe in a thrift store. First off, when I walked into the thrift store, all of the employees immediately looked at me like, let's get the hell out of here and get away from this big 286-foot bearded, blonded, robe-wearing motherfucker as fast as we can. I could sense that, and she was very obliged because I'm sure that she didn't want to cause any more tension.
Matt Bolus is not liked by hipsters.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my aura of seeing through bullshit that I have over my head everywhere I go, or the way I present myself, or how I must not all my kind of stuff. Because I know with being a hipster, there comes that mystique where you have to let the things you're wearing show who you are, and that's not the way I approach things in life.
Clearly, Matt Bolus robed, no pants, in hell on a very special, haunted edition of the Matt Bolus podcast. Matt Bolus, I have a story for you that I have never shared with anyone in my life.
Hold on 1 second. God damn, do you see this?
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
That poor dog.
That was Gandhi. That wasn't a dog. That was Gandhi.
Why are they allowing Gandhi to fuck those people?
I don't know. I don't think he wants to do it. This is hell. Oh, we're out of it.
Thank God. So when I was barely 20 years old, I was traveling with a small group of people through China. You remember that, right? When I went on my little sabbatical to China. And we were spending about 2 months in a province.
It was a mission trip. Don't act like that.
One day we arrived, rural town, nothing unusual, and we spent a couple of days there walking around and seeing the sights. You know how I like to walk around and see the sights. Although there weren't many, it's kind of it's really sad what America's doing to the rest of the world. At this time in my life, things were going amazingly, extraordinarily well for me. It was like I was a whole new person, I was ecstatic to be in Tibet, went to sleep with a smile on my face every single night.
I remember you calling me, and you told me about that second day.
I did.
You were staying in that small town.
Well, on our second day staying in this small town, I woke up feeling a little bit odd. Not bad, just odd. Like my normal thoughts and feelings have been turned down real low, like on a dial, like I couldn't perceive exactly what reality. Well, there was a small summit with a pile of rocks and some prayer flags. To be honest, there were little altars like these on every hill, but it gave us something to do. We were making the altars. As we hiked up the hills behind the town, I started feeling stranger and stranger. I wasn't scared, and I didn't feel angry or any strong emotion. In fact, it was like emotion was trickling out of me somehow. And I was getting blanker and blanker, emptier and emptier. My mind started feeling a little hazy, and more I felt like I simply didn't care about anything. And I'm sure you can all relate on this edition of the Matt Bolus podcast.
Pretty much any time.
It's hard. It really is.
Go on and tell me about your story.
A dwindling part of myself started to panic, and I knew that something bad was happening. But it was like my own inner voice was slowly getting quieter and quieter. I could not hear my
You
own.
were shutting down.
I don't know what. I remember we reached the little summit, and I simply sank into the ground next to a pile of rocks without meaning to. I started tuning out the voices around me, and I fixed all my attention on these little pebbles in the dirt. It's just tiny beige pebbles. I began tapping one against the other repeatedly. You know, I'm a percussionist, and I know it sounds like ball slapping a butthole, but
Yeah, sometimes when a ball slapping a butthole's good.
on this edition of the Matt Bolus podcast,
Sometimes when a ball slapping a butthole's good.
that's what was filling my mind. It was demonic. Well, I touched my face, and I felt.
You had... I don't mean to be discrediting your story here, but you're telling me you don't feel anything, but you feel something from that? How does that work? You're describing something.
I'm describing, I believe it was just the utter fear of nothingness that I felt. I touched my face and it felt like I was grinning at nothing at all, like sadistically. Through all the emptiness, a thought floated in the forefront of my mind. I should die. At first it sounded totally reasonable, but something in me fought it, and I was momentarily troubled. Right then, my group started to walk down from the hill, and I followed. The further we walked, the more normal I felt until we left the town that afternoon, and I was totally freaked out when another girl, Hannah, you remember Hannah, she's no longer with us. She mentioned in an offhand way that she felt very strange and depressed while staying there. I told her that I felt the same. When the group leader mentioned that a local had told him that the town had been plagued with a rash of young women under 25 committing suicide, Hannah and I went white. You know, I identified as a woman. I did at that time.
I'm guessing so. What happened to Hannah?
She was early.
That's a damn good joke.
Thank you. On this edition of the Matt Jokas podcast.
On this edition of the Matt Jokas podcast, we're straight from Bolus.
Straight from Bolus and into your balls. This is the Matt Bolus podcast.
Uh-oh.
On this edition of the Matt Bolus podcast, if you think you can talk condescendingly to me and I won't call your bullshit, you're fucking wrong. Matt Bolus, how are you today?
Good.
That was not directed at you. I was lost in thought. And
Who has been doing that?
there was someone in my life who recently had. I didn't have it. I won't have it. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't have it either. When someone brings bullshit to your plate, dig your fucking feet in the ground and stand up for yourself. Because nobody else is going to. I'm certainly not, because I'm too busy fighting my own battles. And Matt can't, because he's fighting his own battles also. You need to be the person that you were meant to be and dig your feet into the ground and tell that person to stop their shit. On this edition,
Is it sad of me to say that I feel more entitled to save the people of Skyrim than the people in reality?
that's sad, Matt Bolus. But I saved the people on Skyrim also.
Yo, you're listening to the Matt Bolus podcast with Matt Bolus and...
Dusty fucking Ray.
Yo, life sucks and then you die. That's always been my motto. Cheers me up when I'm feeling down. I mean, life is shit for everyone, yeah? Puts everything in perspective. Keeps from doing myself in. I've been told that my cynicism drives people away, but I couldn't care less. I know they suffer as much as I do, and I hate being around people who are dishonest with themselves. Anyway, yeah, that's been my motto. I like saying it. People would tell me either their problems, and I try to cheer them up with, "Hey man," or "Yo, what's up girl? Life sucks." And then you die. So try to make the most of it. But no one ever really saw it from my perspective. They thought I was being insensitive and telling them to harden the fuck up. Oh well, what are you gonna do? If they misunderstand me, that's their own goddamn problem. This is all relevant, however. The reason I'm talking about my motto is because I've just now learned that I was wrong. So completely wrong. It kind of sucks that it took getting hit by a car and smeared across the asphalt to learn the truth. Life sucks. And then you wait. And I've been waiting an awful goddamn long time.
A very Halloween edition of the Matt Bolus podcast. Spooky stories are on the way. Matt Bolus. Halloween is upon us. We hope you are enjoying this very spooky edition of the Matt Bolus podcast. The only podcast in the Chattanooga area. Chattanooga, step your game up.
Yeah, we're the only one.
I heard that something happened with you and your son.
You know I don't like talking about Anakin, but I will. Yeah, I guess I am taking him trick-or-treating and shit. I guess I should mention my kid, whatever.
You really should.
I started tucking my son into bed one night. And he told me, he goes, Matthew. Hold on.
He does call you Matthew. He does call you Matthew.
I know it sounds weird.
It's weird.
I can't.
It's really weird.
Maybe I should say Daddy for the podcast.
No. Just go. He doesn't. Anakin calls you Matthew.
He does. I don't want him to call me father. I don't want him to look up at me as a father.
That's the path to the dark side.
I'm not a father figure.
No,
so.
you're not. You're a figure, but not a father.
I'm there for him, but he knows that I shouldn't know I'd be somebody he looks up to.
Exactly.
Alright, so I began tucking my son into bed. And he tells me, he goes, Matthew, can you check for monsters under my bed? So, for his amusement, honestly, to get him to shut up and go to bed, I looked underneath. And then, I looked under the bed and I saw him. I saw him, my son, staring back at me, shaking and whispering, Daddy, there's somebody on my bed.
Jump scare! We're going to do jump scares in this edition of the Matt Bolus podcast.
Cool.
So
Yeah, good.
Bullshit jump scares. That's what we do. That's who we are. This is the only podcast in Chattanooga.
That's a fucking good one.
That is a good one, isn't it? Why don't you tell the people about the night you lost your phone?
Everybody's been wondering why I don't have a phone and why I won't get another one.
I, myself, have wondered on numerous occasions why you won't get a phone. And ladies and gentlemen, this will be news to me on the Matt Bolus podcast.
We should actually make this one of the title parts, like hashtag why Matt Bolus doesn't have a phone.
Hashtag why does Matt Bolus not have a phone?
And I'm about to tell you why.
And we're going to get this trending worldwide. Matt Bolus. And now, Matt Bolus with an exclusive as to why he doesn't have a phone.
So I lost my phone. About a year ago, a friend rushed me out of this house to catch the opening act at a local bar's music night. We're going to see, I forget the band. But after a couple drinks, and then after a few drinks, I realized my phone wasn't in my pocket. You know that feeling you get when you can't find your phone.
It's torture.
I checked the table where we were sitting earlier in the night. Then I checked at the bar directly where we were sitting. Then I went to the bathrooms to make sure, check both bathrooms.
Because you never know.
Yeah. And after no luck, I used my friend's phone to call mine. Friend will remain nameless. After 2 rings, someone answered. Gave out a low, raspy giggle. And hung up. I thought it was someone fucking with me. So I tried calling. They didn't answer again. I eventually gave it up as a lost cause and headed home. When I got home, I found my phone laying on my nightstand right the fuck where I left it.
Jump scare!
Now, are you going to put like...
Yeah, probably.
And make it really fucking loud and shit? Like they do it? Like make it really loud? Like the yelling?
Yeah.
Just like that, like really loud.
I'll make it really loud. I'll make it unbearably loud.
What picture are you
Jump scare! After working a hard day, I came home to see my girlfriend cradling our child. I didn't know which was more frightening, seeing my dead girlfriend and stillborn child, or knowing that someone broke into my apartment to place them there. Jump scare!
I saw the movie Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Matt Bolus Podcast, handshake. This is the Matt Bolus Podcast. We'd like to thank you very much for joining us today. Our sponsors, Wendy's, Jiffy Lube, and Quick Stop. Thank you very much.
Another sponsor that we need to mention. If you haven't fucking heard, Spirit Halloween Store is open 2 weeks, that's 2 weeks after Halloween, and they have 25 to 50 to 75% off on fake blood,
Costume jewelry,
fake hats,
fake shoes,
fake bones,
fake demons,
fake little rats,
real savings. Spirit Halloween Store.
Spirit Halloween, located in Amigos. If you don't need Amigos, if you need Amigos, make sure Amigos mine.
Hey, Dustin right here. When you go down to the Spirit Store, you tell them the Matt Bowles Podcast sent you, and they'll give you a dirty look.
If you go down to the Spirit Store right now, if you go down to Spirit Halloween right now, guess what? And you tell them the Matt Bolus Podcast sent you, you will get a gallon of free blood all to yourself.
Free blood. You can't beat that. Vampires, beware. This is not real blood. This is the Matt Bolus Podcast.
This has been a production of the Chattanooga Podcast Network.